The circulatory system is one of many organ systems in the human body. It is responsible for circulating blood throughout the body to transport nutrients and remove waste from cells.
The circulatory system consists of a central organ, the heart, and a network of blood vessels that stem from the heart and go throughout the body. The heart is the center of the circulatory system because it pumps blood through the system to all parts of the body. The heart is composed of 4 chambers, the left and right atrium, and the left and right ventricles.
Oxygenated blood.
Oxygenated blood is blood coming from the lungs that is rich in oxygen, the main nutrient transported by blood.
Is transported through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium, through the left ventricle, and out of the heart through the aorta to be pumped through the body. Deoxygenated blood that has already traveled through the body flows into the right atrium and through the right ventricle to be brought to the lungs by the pulmonary artery, where it will be reoxygenated and repeat the process.
When blood leaves the heart, it leaves by the pulmonary artery and moves through the body. An artery is a blood vessel in the body that brings blood away from the heart and to the cells in the body. A blood vessel is a muscular wall tube that carries blood in the body. A vein is a type of blood vessel that carries blood towards the heart. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels that branch off arteries and connect them to veins. The walls of capillaries are thin enough for nutrients to move through them and to cells in the body. Blood reaches the cell through a vast network of capillaries and other blood vessels in the body.
Blood is made up of 4 components: red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. Each component of blood has a specific specialized function. Red blood cells are responsible for transporting nutrients and gases. Red blood cells are the transportation cells in the blood. Their main function is to deliver oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from cells.
Blood also consists of white blood cells. These cells are a major component of the immune system. White blood cells attack and destroy foreign particles in the body and defend against diseases and infection. Without these cells, our bodies would be much more susceptible to infection and disease.
Platelets are the last type of cell in the blood. Platelets are responsible for clotting blood in the case of a cut or tear in a blood vessel. Platelets attach to a break in the wall of a blood vessel and begin building up and causing the blood to clot and form a scab. Without platelets, there would be no way for your body to stop bleeding, and the smallest cuts could cause death due to blood loss.
The last component of blood is plasma. Plasma is the liquid inside of blood. It carries blood cells and other components of blood throughout the body and allows blood to flow. Blood is about 50% plasma, 47.5% red blood cells, 2% platelets, and less than 1% white blood cells.
The circulatory or cardiovascular system must work with the respiratory system in order to function properly. Before blood circulates through the body, it must be enriched with oxygen to transport to cells. In order for the blood to become oxygen-rich, it must travel to the lungs, part of the respiratory system, where it takes up oxygen and dumps waste gas. The dark red, used blood that is full of carbon dioxide and devoid of oxygen travels to the alveoli.
Alveoli are one-cell large air sacs surrounded by capillaries in the lungs,
where it travels through the capillaries and releases waste carbon dioxide, while at the same time collecting oxygen. The newly refreshed, bright red blood then travels back to the heart, where it is pumped throughout the body. Without this interaction between the respiratory and circulatory systems, one of the major functions of the circulatory system would be lost, and cells would be unable to get the nutrients necessary for functioning.
The circulatory system also works with the nervous system in order to function properly. Part of the nervous system, hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus is a part of the brain that detects the amount of carbon dioxide in the blood.
Sends a message through the nervous system to the heart when it detects too much carbon dioxide in the blood. The heart then beats faster in order to expel the carbon dioxide from the blood through the lungs.
One type of disease that affects the circulatory system is rheumatic heart disease. This disease affects mostly children and is most common for children from the ages of 5 to 15. This disease causes heart valves to become thick and scarred, restricting blood flow throughout the body and reducing the available amounts of oxygen in the body. Rheumatic heart disease also increases the risk of blood clots in the heart and ultimately results in heart failure and death. This disease puts the body out of homeostasis by preventing an adequate blood flow. This results in higher amounts of carbon dioxide waste and low levels of oxygen in the blood, as well as a weaker immune system and a higher risk of heart attack.
Another disease that affects the circulatory system is cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathy is the disease that causes abnormalities in the heart muscle. One form of disease, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, is a genetic disorder passed down through genes. This form of disease causes thickening of the heart muscle and the walls of chambers and valves. This causes difficulty in pumping blood through the heart and slowed blood flow, which can ultimately lead to heart failure and eventual death. Other forms of diseases can cause heart weakening, narrowed arteries, and restricted heart chambers. All of these forms can cause heart failure and death as well. Cardiomyopathy can develop in an individual due to heredity or health problems, or during or after a recent pregnancy. Cardiomyopathy puts the body out of homeostasis because it lowers blood flow, causing clots and a buildup of carbon dioxide, as well as lower amounts of available oxygen in the body.
Let's look at what we've learned so far. The circulatory system is a major system in the human body. It consists of the heart, arteries, veins, and capillaries, and transports blood, nutrients, and waste to and from cells.
Blood is made up of 4 components: plasma, as well as 3 types of blood cells: red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. All of these work together to perform the major functions of the blood.
The circulatory system must work with other systems to fully function. It works with the respiratory system to transport nutrients and gases, and with the nervous system to regulate carbon dioxide levels and blood pressure.
There are many diseases that affect the circulatory system. Both rheumatic heart disease and hypertrophic cardiomyopathy cause abnormalities in the heart and lead to heart failure and death. Heart diseases can put the body out of homeostasis by slowing or stopping blood flow and causing heart failure.
The circulatory system plays a major role in the functioning of the human body. It is a necessary part of the body, and without it, our lives would be impossible.
Unless we were a plant.
But we're not plants.
But if we were,
But I'm talking about people.
okay, what if we were a single-celled organism?
We're not.
But if we were,
Then we wouldn't need one, but we also wouldn't have brains. So we wouldn't be having this conversation.
circulatory system consists. You have to give me more time for this. No. What, Alicia?
You just added a word.
I know.
Shut up. Okay.
That's all I got.